Okay, so what I'm gonna here first is gonna be the metal stick, the metal corner bead. And what I'm gonna use for this one is I have a stapler, right? You can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's, just stapler. And then I have the staples that go with it, right? So you take the staples out of the box. Okay, you're gonna drop it into the back of it. You add the backing. Okay. Now these have holes that you can either put a screw through or a staple. Okay. And what you want to do is make sure that these are as flat as possible to the drywall, because it's going to help you a lot when you mud them. Okay. So I have my piece here. I have my other little piece for here. I want to make sure that they touch. So that's about where I want it right there. So the first one, I'm going to go ahead put a staple in. That's going to hold it. Okay. Now if you need to press on it to hold it, to push it in, you can press on it. You want to get enough staples that it's going to hold it. Staples are jammed. I'm about to get a screwdriver and get back. Okay, so unfortunately my staple gun jammed, so I'm about to use screws. So it happens. It is what it is. Anyways, you get the idea. So you're just gonna go ahead and put the metal up there, and you're gonna staple it off. You know, just like we did with the screw pattern, you're gonna staple it off, staggering them, designating what side needs it, because you don't want any bubbles, any bulges, any, you don't want it lifting off the drywall. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use screws. I don't have a clinch on. I don't do enough metal to want to buy one. So again, you're just gonna push on it to give you a nice square on both sides. You don't want to over screw it. Okay. And you can just, it's metal. If it needs to get dinged in, you can hit it in. Sometimes they get messed up in transportation. This isn't anything structural. Again, this is just for your corner piece to look nice, to have something to finish off this raw edge of the drywall. Is what I wanted to say today, is raw edge. So anywhere that you have, it's a hallway, there's a pass through into an entry, but there's no door there. So you're just gonna have this raw drywall if you didn't put this bead up, okay? So I'm gonna come down here and do the same thing down here. And it doesn't take too much, right? Here's a trick. You can get a drywall knife, you can put it up there, and you're gonna check for daylight that's coming through to see how flat you are. Normally I would have another piece here, but I'm gonna use this piece, and you're gonna see it. If it's too much of a gap, then it's not good, because there's gonna be a lot of fill in. If you can keep it at a minimal where it's flat, this edge is almost flat with the drywall, that's gonna leave you, have you putting less mud, which is a good thing. So let's turn the camera we're gonna put this metal on. This is a corner bead. Again, I've had guys that freaked out because I did it with staples. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, the staples didn't work as good as with the screws. Or you could use the mudding method, like I said before. So I'm gonna put this at a height that I like it, where they're gonna match up, which is about there. It's about there. You don't want to go into another screw. There's a screw in my drywall right there. Obviously find a spot that does not have a screw. You're going to put it there. Same thing like with the metal, you want it nice and tight. You want it close. You don't have to put it everywhere. You're just going to work your way down. No bubbles, it's flat for the most part. I'm actually going to go ahead and screw this one off and then finish the little metal piece on the other side, and I'm going to leave the mudding just for the last two, so we'll get back to it after that. Okay guys, so I decided to not put up the pieces that I need to mud until I actually get the mud out, because I just don't want to do, you know, go back and forth. So when I get the mud out, and that's when I'll put up the last piece of the corner bead that I have. But what I did want to show you is, so this is how it came out when I hung it. It's pretty much flat. There's no big bumps. There's no big grooves. It's not loose. This is what I was talking about when I said cutting out that, yeah, it's my janky old corner. Anyways, when I talked about cutting out so that other piece could slip in there, you see that right here, it has a good line that it's going to line up with. And then on the outside, we're going to put tape, and we're going to make that so that it's continuous, right? You're not going to see this big old, the big old void or whatever. You can put caulking in there, and I'll explain that later. On this side, it's the same thing. You know, my staple gun broke during that part of the video. So I have this where this is tight and flush. It makes a good square corner. Then up here we have where the metal, the tip meets the tip up here. We're gonna put the paper tape there and the angle tape there that'll cover up those gaps. And then I'll show you how to finish that. And when I get this paper piece, or what, I don't know what this is, this piece up there, that'll tie in. Now, when we go up there, obviously this is a square. So I can tie that in where you're not gonna notice at the end of this one, but you will notice because this is gonna go into bull nose, right? But what I wanna show you is, I'm trying to give you guys different aspects of them. So I wanna show you how we're gonna round that and to turn that, but obviously to finish this, it's not gonna line up right there, and we'll figure that out when we get there, I guess. Anyways, okay, so we're gonna get into the mud and taping now.